To create an advanced seed script where zones are auto-generated for you, begin by ensuring the field you would like to create the script on is upgraded to a Pro Solution field. To do this, navigate to the Climate FieldView store by selecting Buy. Once you're ready to begin, select the Prescriptions tab. Here you can use the drop-down beside the field name to select the field you would like to create the script on. You can either scroll and search or use the search bar to type in the field name. Once you have your field selected, go ahead and select Create New Prescription. As I mentioned, we're going to create a seed script, so I'm going to toggle over to Planting. And here I have the option to either select a FieldView seed script where the zones are auto-generated for me, or a manual planting prescription where I would create my own zones. I'm going to do an advanced seed script, and please note at this time it's only available for corn. If I toggle over to soybeans, you will see it's not available. So I'm going to select corn and get started. Here it has pulled my past yield data that is in my account. We do recommend that you have 2 years of past yield data, one of which is corn, in your account prior to creating a script. For any years I do not have yield data, it's going to simply ask what crop I had planted in the field that year. And if any of these layers are not representative of my average or I don't want to include them for some reason, I'm going to click on the little check mark, and here I have the option to remove that data layer. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this layer. And once everything's complete here, I'm going to select Next. It asks for my planned planting date, so I'm going to click on the little calendar here and choose my approximate planting date and choose the hybrid that I wish to use, and it will pull from a number list. My target yield, I'm going to insert. It asks for my seed cost per bag. For simplicity's sake, let's go with $2.80, and grain price per bushel, again for simplicity's sake, let's just go with $6 and select Next. Here it's going to generate management zones based on my past yield data and my field health images. Here you can see it's recommending 4 zones. If I would like to edit and add more or less, I can use the little drop down and select how many zones I would like to see, and it will create a new script for me. I also have the option to toggle between a lower investment or a higher yield estimate. So if I would like a little lower estimate, I can bring this down. And again, it's going to create new management zones. So here you can see it has my 8 zones, the average population on each of those zones, average target yield on each of those zones, and the area of each zone. All of my edits have been saved, so if I want to go back to the original recommendation, I can just click on that one. And then I can choose Finish in Editor, where I have the opportunity to further edit my zones. So here you can either click on a zone and it will tell you, so this is zone number 4, or vice versa, you can click on a zone over here and it will highlight it on the map. I have the option to change my target yields or my population for any of these zones. If I think 218 is maybe pushing it, I can go to 210 and it will save that for me. I also have the option to merge zones, so if there are pieces that I would like to merge together, I can select Merge. I can also split zones, so if I would like to chunk it out more, I can press Split, or I can draw additional zones. So sometimes we use this if we would like to create test blocks, so I can draw a polygon, a square, or a pivot. And for any of these changes, I can always undo them. Right now I'm viewing the zones with a population rate map underlaying it. I can change this map. For example, the last yield map I had in my account, and I can see my zones overlaying it there. Once I'm happy with my zones, I'm going to scroll up and go to RX settings. Here I'm going to add the name of my prescription, so I'm just going to go to test 1. My hybrid that I chose. A cool feature is the hybrid finder, so if I select on hybrid finder, it's asking for my relative maturity, so this is just a broad range. I can edit those and select the brand of seed I'd like to look up. And here it's going to give me suggestions on a number of varieties. So right now, since it's pretty broad, it's 76 hybrids, I could select one of these and select add hybrid. I'm going to close out of here. I can also choose that I'm using a starter liquid fertilizer here. And now once everything is complete, I'm going to select save. And this is going to save a version to my prescriptions tab on Climate FieldView. A little note will come up saying it was successfully saved. Once I'm done, I'm going to select close. And here it will be listed in my planting scripts under this field for 2021. Now I do have a couple options. If I select the 3 dots beside the prescription I just created, I can go back and edit it. I can set it as my primary planting prescription for this field. I can rename it, make a copy, export it, or delete it. You can either use this export function, or you can go up to the top of the map and use this export option button. Here you can see I could download a number of scripts at once, or I can just go to this specific field. I'm going to go to all planting scripts. So I have both of those. I can either connect them to my John Deere, I can download it as a generic shapefile, or I can download it by choosing my file format. Here I have the option to choose between file formats for an ag leader, generic shapefile, John Deere, Precision 2020, Pro 600 or 700, Pro 700 ISO, Pro 700 shapefile, Raven Viper, or Trimble FMX. These are simply the formats that the monitor is able to read the script best under. So I'm just going to go ahead with generic shapefile, and here it's going to download a copy to my computer, which I can then save on a USB and bring to my equipment's monitor.